Hi, Jason Kardos, independent real estate broker, and in this video I'm going to talk about home inspections. Home inspections are not required by law to purchase a home, whether it be resale or a new home, although it's highly recommended. When a buyer buys a new home, there is an appraisal done for value for the bank's purposes, and then a licensed appraiser will see if there's a hole in the ceiling or something dramatically wrong with the home, but they do not go through the home for home inspection purposes in that manner. Some appraisals, such as a VA or FHA, they will have a little more stringent guidelines since the buyer is putting down less money, but still that's an appraisal and not a home inspection. Home inspections haven't been regulated too much as far as licensing over the years. You can basically use anyone you trust, a contractor, although there are newer agencies now that are licensed with guidelines that you can use for home inspection. I can click, let's see, here's the picture of home inspections here. One of such agencies, this is the American Society of Home Inspectors, or otherwise known as ASHI. So this is a good resource to learn about home inspections, but also to look at a list of home inspectors. And then in California, they have the California Real Estate Inspection Association, or CREA, and this is another good resource with list of home inspections, home inspectors on there. In a recent article here in Realtor magazine, this is called House Sleuthing. It talks a little bit about home inspections, and I'm going over this to go over some points. And although a home inspection isn't required, in these times with bank-owned homes, it's maybe even more important. Many home buyers want to know a lot of information about a bank-owned home, and legally the bank doesn't have to disclose certain disclosures that a homeowner would if they're selling their home, known as material facts. A bank basically has never lived in a home, and although there may be serious defects with the home, they legally don't have to say anything they don't know. So for you as a home buyer, if you do hire a home inspection, which by the way can cost from $250 up to $500 or even more depending on the size of the home, that'll be opportunity cost money that you've paid out, but could be the best money you've paid depending on what you find with the condition of the home. At that point, although you have paid for the home inspection and you own it, you can then share it with the bank in this situation or this case and bring up any issues with them. At that point, you can negotiate with the bank on those items, or if it's best to just cancel and look for another home, that could be the best money spent. As you see in this article too, it also talks about inspector or engineer. So a home inspector, like I say, can be a lot of things, looking at the two websites I've showed you, or a contractor. But there are also engineers. Now, a home inspector will look leaky roof, furnace, rotting beams, things of that nature. But a licensed engineer is the only one that can give you actual cost estimates on it. And say a foundation, if you see a crack in the foundation, an engineer would be someone to call in to look at it a little bit closer. So in general, a home inspector looks at the overview of what they can see of a home, and then if there's other items that need further inspection, foundation, plumbing, roof, then you call in a specialized inspector for that. And then let's see here, it's talking about ASHI, and then I've told you about CREA for California. And here's some tips for working with a home inspector. Review the scope of work and their contract up front. Many home inspectors are licensed and bonded, and like I say, they're not going to be tearing apart the wall. It is good to study the report once you get it with your agent or with the seller, vice versa. You can also do home inspections, which I think is good practice for home sellers, to see if there's any issues that maybe you can address before you put your home on the market. and also disclose to a buyer, kind of like Carfax, early on in the transaction, the condition of the home. I've had a gentleman who lived in his home all his life, and we had a home inspection, and there was issues with the roof, and he was kind of upset, but mind you, he hadn't climbed on the roof. He didn't know about it. He wasn't being not up on board. But once we had pictures of this and showed them, we were able to get a credit on the roof, and both parties were happy. So that's another reason why, for a home seller, maybe an issue you don't even know about. See, be ready to recommend specialists. Discourage seller participation. That's one thing. If you are a buyer going to a home inspection, you do not want the seller to be there hovering around you. This would be your time to have a home inspection done at your pace. And then shadow the inspector. That's another thing. Many of the inspectors I've used, they always encourage questions after the inspection if you want to go over it with them. And then even if all goes well and you purchase the home, I tell people that home inspection is kind of like the Bible on the home. There's issues that maybe were legal at the time the home was built, such as tempered glass, but as you live in the home and renovate it over the years, there might be just basic safety issues you want to upgrade. And then, of course, electrical wiring or leaky roof, those are things that will be taken care of immediately that you can uncover in a home inspection. And then, let's see here, last but not least here, new homes need it as well. As you can see, here's a picture of a new home tract that I'm in escrow with the client. Although the homes are being built by a reputable builder and they're going to be inspected by the city home inspectors, it still is advisable to have a home inspection. Watch it as the home is built. There are warranties on the home, but again, in tract homes, there could be things that are overlooked, and just for peace of mind, before drywall is put on and everything is put together, it'd be better to catch these issues early on. So that's why even for a new home, a home inspection can be crucial. And then the last website here I wanted to show you, this is a home inspector and engineer and geotechnical, so they can do structural new construction, seismic retrofits. They also can inspect for mold, lead-based paint. These are items usually not covered in a general home inspection. Also, pool and jacuzzi are ones that are usually an additional charge. So this company here in San Diego, DeBerry Engineering Associates Incorporated, would be a good choice if you needed to really look into more issues on a home. I hope that's helpful for you, and if you have any other questions, you can call me at 619-347